Yes, people, why football here? And this is just a quick video to talk about Thomas Partey at Arsenal and why he is a key player to Arsenal's ambitions this season and will be one of the most pivotal players at this football club. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing on my road to 600 as I release a lot of Arsenal videos and football videos in general. So yeah, talking about, let's go back to the beginning of Thomas Partey. We signed him last deadline day, so not the most recent one, the one before, and it came literally out of the blue. The AFC Bell reported it out of complete thin air. We were tracking him the whole summer. We all knew that we were interested in Thomas Partey, but nothing seemed to materialise towards like the end of the transfer window, so we just assumed it was dead in the water, coupled with the fact that Arsenal seemed to be putting all their efforts, all their eggs into one basket of Houssem Aouar from Lyon. We were looking around 60 million for him, and then that happened to fall through at the last minute. I think his brother got involved, whatever. And so with us losing out on Houssem Aouar and the owners and the board knowing we cannot not sign someone after we spent all that time tracking Aouar, we went back to Thomas Partey, who happened to have a release clause due to La Liga rules stating that every club must have a release clause. And we went and snapped him up. And it annoyed Atletico Madrid because they had no clue. We didn't inform them that we were going to trigger the release clause. Fabrizio Romano even said Atletico Madrid will not sell Thomas Partey. He's not going anywhere because no one knew. We just happened to trigger the release clause. And the way it works is in La Liga is you go straight to the board of the Liga, the Spanish board, and you pay the money there. You don't give, the club has no interaction with the Atletico Madrid. Arsenal did not interact with them at all. We just went straight to the Liga board and said, this is the money for Thomas Partey. And if the player agrees, he's an Arsenal player. And fortunately, he did. To soften the blow, we did send them Torreira on loan. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So Partey comes in after not having a big pre-season, to be fair. But we know his resume. He's a hell of a midfielder, strong box to box. I remember watching him against Liverpool for Atletico Madrid at Anfield. He absolutely dominated that Liverpool midfield. And at that time, Liverpool probably had one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team. And he completely run them ragged. Had the whole team on ropes, and you're thinking, what a player, like what a footballer. He comes in with the reputation of barely ever getting injured for Atletico Madrid. I think it was something like 4 games this whole time. Like something really small like that, and that was what we needed. We needed consistency in the squad and consistency with injuries because we seem to get players injured every other minute. But then he comes in, couple of niggles here and there, and he just can't seem to establish a run in the side. It's not that he wasn't good enough, it's just that injuries kept holding him back, and I think because he knew of those injuries in the back of his mind, he wasn't going full strength at times. But I do remember one game, I think we all remember, Old Trafford, October last year, or November, I think it was the 1st of November actually. Wow, we beat Man United 1-0, and that game was just down to Thomas Partey. He absolutely dominated that midfield. He showed the class the brother has. He's, honestly, in my opinion, a prime Thomas Partey can walk into any midfield in the Premier League. I honestly believe that. I believe he will get into Man United's midfield if he was in his prime, next to Bruno and Pogba. I believe he'll even get into Man City's midfield. I think even he's got a case to get into Liverpool's midfield. I honestly believe a prime Thomas Partey gets into every single midfield in the Premier League, and I will argue that every day. But we just hadn't seen enough of the prime of Thomas Partey due to injuries left, right, centre. But now, flashing forward to this season, he finally has a good pre-season under his belt, and he's got a nice little pre-season game coming through. And then the incident in the Mind series, August the 1st versus Chelsea, gets fouled. I believe it's by Jorginho, though I think it's actually Ruben Loftus-Cheek maybe. But either way, he gets fouled, goes down, and he's injured, and you're thinking, why? We were literally looking forward to see the best of Thomas Partey this season, and the brother literally just gets injured in the Mind series, a friendly game, and we go on to lose that game as well. And it ends up, you're thinking 3 weeks, they say, okay, not that bad. He might miss the Brentford game. He might come back for Chelsea, Man City, but it turns out to be him missing 6 weeks till he next touches a football pitch. And that was this last Saturday versus Norwich City. And he didn't even play the full game. He came on for 30 minutes. But in that half an hour, he proved why he is key to this midfield. And I'll explain why. Coming onto the pitch, Thomas Partey, we were 1-0 up at the time. And most managers would think, you know what, let's bring on another centre defensive midfielder and let's lock up. But what did he do? He literally straight swapped him for Lokonga. Thomas Partey was the sole player in that midfield. Odegaard and Emil Smith-Rowe were ahead of him, and obviously had Pepe, Saka and Aubameyang up front. And this brother on his ones held down that midfield. And he didn't just hold it down, he was a transition from defence to attack. Why do you think we had so many chances at the end of the game? Were Norwich chasing the game? Yes, but it was also down to Thomas Partey with his transition. Arsenal Football Club cannot transition from defence to attack quick enough. It's one of our biggest kind of downfalls. We can't get the ball from defence to attack from north to south quick enough. And teams can just sit back and we find it hard to break them down. With Thomas Partey, he possesses all the skills required from midfield to get that ball up the pitch quickly. He can pass if he wants to. A couple of times he sprayed it out to Pepe, sprayed it out to Saka, left foot, right foot. Key, literally on point, fast passes. He pinged it into them. He didn't just pass it. He sprayed the ball into them quickly. Into Emil Smith-Rowe, Odegaard ahead of him as well. Not only that, but he can run with the football. He's powerful. He reminds me of obviously he's not as good, but he reminds me of Patrick Vieira in that way where he can literally run with the ball, commanding, powerful. No one gets near him. They bounce off him when they try and tackle him. That's the kind of midfielder you need in your books. I believe Thomas Partey was the reason we won that. We scored a goal that game because it was 0-0 when he came on, right? And him scoring meant that and Arsenal scoring came down to him passing the ball through to Saka, I believe, who then turned and played Pepe, etc. And then we scored. But him finding the keys from defence to attack, and I think that would be so useful this season. Someone like him. Of course, the other part, of course, is it doesn't matter who goes next to him. The problem with us is the two midfield positions, they need to complement each other at Arsenal, right? If you have Lokonga defensively, you have to have Odegaard attacking-wise, etc. With Partey, he can play any role that it doesn't matter who you put next to him. It does not matter. You can put Odegaard next to Partey, you can put Xhaka next to Partey, you can put Lokonga next to Partey. They will look good because they're next to Thomas Partey. He's that kind of midfielder. He boosts he inflates the stats of everyone around him because he's that commanding presence in the midfield. It's like if you have Cristiano Ronaldo in your team. Like look on the weekend for Man United. There's certain players in that team that just look miles better because Ronaldo's there. If it's a bad cross from Sancho, for example, or Greenwood, Ronaldo's that kind of striker that he will make the cross look good because he anticipates that he'll get on the end of it, for example. With Thomas Partey in the team, it elevates the midfielders around him because they know, okay, I don't have to do this defensively, this attacking because I know Thomas Partey's got me covered defensively. I can roam a bit more and I can implement my style on the attacking football more, for example. I just think having Partey in midfield means that Arteta can now resort to a free. Now, he wants to play the 4-3-3 and a flat free midfield with him, and it gives us more attacking options. So a Odegaard or Emil Smith-Rowe can play together alongside a Pepe and Saka. It wouldn't be my desired or my preferred formation. I would prefer to see Partey next to a Lokonga, for example, but it gives Arteta that option too. So yeah, that was just my thoughts on why Thomas Partey is Arsenal's most important player this season. Honestly, I just think that the freedom he gives Arteta and Arsenal to implement different styles, his defensive presence, his attacking presence, I just think he's going to be so important this season if he can just stay fit. Let me know what you thought in the video in the comment section down below. Let me know who you think Arsenal's most important player is. If it isn't Thomas Partey, if it is Thomas Partey, let me know. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing on my road to 600, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.